The Vancouver Canucks just won the lottery. Well, not just. It actually happened on July 13th, 2022 when they signed 25-year-old Michigan-born power forward Dakota Joshua to a 2-year deal worth $1.65 million. The Canucks hit the jackpot that day. They just didn't know it yet. Welcome to Game 54 against the Connor Bedard-less Chicago Blackhawks. First place versus last place. The Canucks have really excelled in defeating the teams they're supposed to beat this season, and that's just one of the many reasons the Canucks have been so successful this year. Another one being the emergence of what many people around the league are calling the best third line in hockey. On this channel, we call them the Lifeline: Teddy Blueger, Connor Garland, and Dakota Joshua. Understandably, opponents are more focused on shutting down the Canucks' top two lines, consisting of players like Elias Pettersson, JT Miller, and Brock Besser. And yet, despite being matched up against some of the league's best defensive players, Miller and Pettersson have been top 10 in league scoring since Game 1, and only 7 players in the entire league have scored more goals than Brock Besser has. However, there are some very strong teams in this league who can, and in some cases already have shut down Vancouver's top players, but not many teams have a third line that can match up against the Lifeline. Especially not a team like Chicago, who aren't only in the middle of a complete rebuild, but have suffered from the most injuries of any team this season. Still, the Canucks prepared for this game the same way they would if they were playing against Vegas or Colorado, and you better believe the Lifeline came to play.
Here's Garland cutting in, centers the puck, gets a return pass and scores! A give and go with Dakota Joshua. Another beauty from this pair.
That's Connor Garland's 10th goal of the season, but just look at the incredible offensive awareness displayed by Dakota Joshua here. A guy who was expected to be not much more than a physical presence on the fourth line back when the Canucks signed him a few summers ago. This one gave me Sedin twin flashbacks. 1-0 Vancouver. And then there's another line to talk about now too, the newly formed 100% Swedish line consisting of Elias Pettersson, Elias Lindholm, and Nils Höglander. Watch them, with the help of defenders Quinn Hughes and Tyler Myers, completely control the play around Chicago's net for an entire minute. And if we take a look at the shots on goal here, you may notice that it's a little bit lopsided. Like I said, the Canucks aren't playing down to their opponents anymore, and I mean no disrespect to the Blackhawks or their fans when I say that. Trust me, I know what it's like to cheer for a team at the bottom of the standings. Demko was finally able to make his first save with 30 seconds left in the period, and as the players were skating to their dressing rooms, Connor Garland and Nick Foligno had a friendly discussion about who took down who behind the Chicago net a few minutes earlier. Noah Juleson made a great defensive play to alleviate some pressure. Quinn Hughes showed everyone how good he is at hockey. And then watch this shift from, you guessed it, the Lifeline. Connor Garland lost the puck battle in the corner, but Blueger stepped in to disrupt Chicago's attempted breakout. Then Garland and Joshua double-teamed the Blackhawk defender, stole the puck, and passed it back to Filip Hronek for a point shot. Peter Mrazek stopped it and steered it to the open side for his teammates to retrieve and clear out of the zone. Now, this moment right here, in my opinion, is what makes this Canucks third line so hard to play against. Blackhawks forward Ryan Donato has enough time and space to choose one of two options. Either pass the puck down the boards to his open teammate Seth Jones, or the much safer option, chip the puck off the glass and down the ice so him and his linemates can change. But in the 2 short seconds he spent trying to make that decision, the Lifeline took away both of his options, smothered him on the boards, regained possession of the puck, continued to pressure, and then scored. It's just so fun to watch. That's Garland's second goal of the game, and he really took one for the team here, allowing a Filip Hronek point shot that's already proven to be very dangerous bounce off his foot and into the net. 2-0 Whale team. Tyler Johnson managed to get one past Demko during a Chicago power play to make it 2-1, but that scoreline didn't last very long because just over a minute later, Chicago forward Colin Blackwell ripped a backhand shot over Demko's shoulder, and while he thought it went in, the refs didn't, so the play continued up the ice with the puck in possession of that newly formed all-Swedish line I mentioned before, and thanks to a strong forecheck from Elias Lindholm, we got a goal from we got a goal from Nils. Yeah, Nils. Nils. Big Hog. Hoglander. Yeah. 3-1 Canucks. At the top of this video, I said the Canucks won the lottery when they signed Dakota Joshua, and if you needed any more convincing, watch this.
Centering pass, Joshua scores!
That's his 13th goal of the season, and what a great play it was. Quinn Hughes with the perfect bank pass to Teddy Blueger, Blueger with the no-look backhand pass to the middle. It's hard to tell if Connor Garland played a part in getting that puck through or not, but either way, what a finish by Joshua here. He had the confidence and the patience to pull it to the backhand instead of shooting it right away. That's no fourth-line grinder garbage goal, that's a goal scorer's goal. And he's making $825,000 a year, which in reality makes him a fairly wealthy man, but in the NHL, that's just $75,000 more more than the league minimum. To give you some perspective, I calculated the average salary of every NHL player that currently has 13 goals this season and determined that the current market price for a player like that is around $4,284,702.39 a year. That means the Canucks are getting that kind of production for 80% less than the league average. Not only that, but according to Cap Friendly, Joshua is the 6th most valuable player when it comes to cost per point scored. I'm telling you, the Canucks won the lottery with this guy. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, because he's one of 9 players with expiring contracts the Canucks are going to have to deal with at the end of this season. I put up a poll asking you guys which player you'd most want to see the Canucks keep around, and it wasn't even close. You all chose Dakota Joshua, and I couldn't agree more. Anyway, back to the game. Petey took a shot so hard that it sent Mrazek's stick flying. Then Pew Suter pit-pocketed Isaac Phillips and broke in on a 2-on-1 with Brock Besser, but his stick broke when he tried to take the shot. Chicago got another one to make it 4-2 and a little more interesting. Then watch this. Connor Garland got crunched behind the net. It was a clean hit, but Joshua didn't like it, so he stepped up to protect his friend and teammate, capping off his already stellar night with a Gordie Howe hat-trick. Garland hit the post on an empty net looking for his second career hat-trick, and that was that. Canucks won 4-2. Now, on to Game 55 against the Detroit Red Wings, a rematch of Game 50. Well, it looks like Dakota Joshua injured himself in the fight at the end of that last game. There's no timeline for his return yet, but let's hope he's not out too long. His absence drew Nils Åman back into the lineup, and Ilya Mikheyev will be moving up to take his spot on the lifeline. Anyway, there was a lot of buzz around this game because the last time these two teams played, just 5 days ago, 2 big things happened. First, Nikita Zadorov caught Lucas Raymond up high with a nasty hit that he ended up getting suspended for. And second, when Jake Wallman scored the winning goal in overtime, he did this obnoxious dance known as the gritty in celebration. The questions media and fans had coming into this game were, are the Red Wings going to seek retribution for that hit on Raymond and go after Zadorov? And are the Canucks going to make Jake Wallman pay for his celebration that some may have considered disrespectful? Now, to me, that second question is pretty stupid, but instead of giving my opinion, here's what Ian Cole said when he was asked about it prior to the game.
I think that, we put ourselves in that position. He capitalized and he celebrated. Now, do you guys think it's a little disrespectful? Maybe. I think the one thing that solves that issue is don't get scored on.
I agree with Satyar Shah here. That was the perfect answer. So let's see what happened. JT Compher caught Demko out of position, but the post made the save for Thatcher. Jeff Petrie made an incredible pass to the wrong team, and JT Miller made no mistake, scoring his 24th goal of the season to put Vancouver up 1-0. Demko made a couple solid saves back-to-back, and then look at this goal Elias Lindholm scored. Let's just listen to it for a second.
Elias Lindholm in with a wrist shot, he scores!
Post and in. A blistering shot. 2-0 Canucks. Filip Hronek blocked a shot with his hand. Please don't do that, Phil. We need you. Demko brutally robbed Daniel Sprong of his 15th goal of the season. Sprong didn't quite get all of it, but still, just a beautiful, beautiful save. At this point, the game was half over, and Zadorov hadn't really been challenged at all. And to be honest, I don't blame the Red Wings. Who would choose to fight that man? However, it's possible that Detroit's attitude changed when Zadorov scored his first goal as a Canuck to put his team up 3-0, because just 2 minutes later, JT Compher scored to put his team on the board and make up for that post he hit back in the first period. 3-1 Canucks. This is when things started getting a little testy. Zadorov hit Raymond again, but this time it was clean, and Raymond wasn't too happy about it. And then Pettersson unintentionally high-sticked Jake the gritty guy Wallman on the follow-through of a shot, which isn't a penalty for those wondering. Hronek tried to give me a heart attack by blocking another shot with his hand. JT Miller made a great defensive play on the penalty kill. Then Demko made another fantastic save on a different penalty kill. Next, Jake Wallman found himself on the receiving end of another high stick, this time from Big Hog. Although it was unintentional, it definitely should have been a penalty, but surprisingly, nothing was called, and in the midst of Wallman's anger, Zadorov seized the moment to mock his dance moves from last game, displaying his impeccable comedic timing. Hilarious. Demko made another great save, and then, despite Pettersson bobbling the puck on a 2-on-1, he still managed to get it over to Lindholm for his second goal of the game and 4th goal in his 6th game as a Canuck. 4-1 Vancouver. Look, I know it's a little early, but I really believe in this line combination of Pettersson, Lindholm, and Höglander, so I'm gonna name them. At first I wanted to call them Big Hog and the Eliases, but then I found out Lindholm actually pronounces his first name differently than Pettersson does. It's Elias, whereas Pettersson is Elias. So I went back to the drawing board and came up with this. The fishing line. Anyway, Suter hit the gritty guy and he didn't like it and almost threw a temper tantrum, but he held it together, which you know I always respect. Down by 3 goals with 5 minutes left trying to tie the game, Detroit pulled their goalie so they could put out an extra skater on the ice. Looking for the hat trick, Lindholm fired it down the ice but hit the post. Then Pettersson tried to set Lindholm up for the hat trick on the empty net, but the pass was intercepted. Then Suter gave it a try, but the shot was deflected wide. Then Thatcher Demko gave it a shot, and while it was perfectly accurate, Detroit didn't want to be the team that let that happen. Then Connor Garland gave it the old college try, but missed by a hair. Then Brock Besser took a stab at it, it but missed the net as well. But then Brock got another chance and buried it, except JT Miller was way offside, so it didn't count. The Canucks never did end up getting that fifth goal, but they did win 4-1, improving their record to 37-12-6. They're the first team to 80 points and have widened their first place lead by 6 points. What on earth are we witnessing right now? I hate to say I told you so, but the Vancouver Canucks are good. But it seems like everyone knows that now, so I might have to update that pretty soon. Congratulations to these 7 professional hockey analysts for predicting the score of Game 54 correctly, and to these 2 baby geniuses for predicting the score of Game 55 correctly, especially Scylla5024, who just took over top spot in the prediction standings. Now, I put every single username that followed the rules of my contest into a random name generator, and the winners of the Vancouver Canucks Are Good hoodie giveaway are... DM me on Instagram and we'll find a way to get these suckers to you. As for the rest of you, I'm working on getting a bunch more of these made, so stay tuned. Bye.
You'd rather have it be cold and sunny than warmer but rainy?
Here's this question.
You don't have to answer.
Sorry, I don't understand.